All right, hello everybody. How are we doing? Hi, my Logify. Good to see you on here. What's that? My alarm wake up time for 9:10. Very good. And then that's me rambling on. Oh, hi Zed. Very good. Excellent. I wonder who else is here. So today, I decided that what I would do is get the guitar template out and give that a whirl, because I was doing a few upgrades on it. So the last few weeks have been sort of building a template, haven't we, which has sort of been more kind of synths and adding guitars in, but this is the guitar one. And I thought that might be a good thing to do as put that video up. So I just need to check latency out on here. One moment. Right, Ableton. Let's have a look at you. Right, that's pretty good. All right, I'll get used to it. It's a little bit of latency on this session because I'm using a few things that are putting a few milliseconds onto it. So what's everybody been up to? What's been happening? It's a very cold morning here in the UK. Oh. Be with you in a moment. Oh, I need some tuning this today. Been dog sitting and doing art, lovely. Now I'd imagine it's album art you're doing there, Kevin. Trying to think what I've been doing. Oh, I was in coach training yesterday. It was absolutely brilliant. Learnt loads. Right, I think that might be in tune. We'll find out. So you expect a guitar to happen and a bass happens. Hi there, Sean. Yeah, see, there's a cool lick. Yeah. Should show you that, shouldn't I? It's been, it's been something that I've been ignoring for a while. There's a regular guitar. Tell you what, we'll start. I'll show you it as it's. I know, as I've done a guitar video. Basically, dead easy to work out in all the other positions, right? But all I'm doing is I'm just making. It's great to do the video, isn't it? All I'm doing is making 3 notes per string horizontally across the neck. That's it. So I'm in E minor. Let's do position 1. So you can have 3. We're gonna have 1, 3, 4. Then the other way around. 1, 2, 4. Repeat that, and then we'll have the very sensible 1, 2, 4 like that. And then we've got the same as the first string, and the next. It's a great way to visual the 3 notes per string. There you go. Hey, God. Just need to quickly check my preferences here. General. Stream. Alright. Okay. Have some coffee. Alright, so what's everybody been up to? So you've been doing some art. What else? Oh, there's Lemmy. Hi, Lemmy. I've been adjusting my hair, which I'm going to do now. Having a crap hair day. Oh, God, that looks terrible. Lifeless and awful. But, you know, what can you expect at this time in the morning? Been playing Helldivers 2. That sounds good. What is it? A computer game? Or is it like an album? Oh, there's Des. Look. There's Des. How you doing, Des? Good to see you. See you here. Brilliant. Oh, you saw the Judas Priest tour? How cool. What were they like? Were they really good? I bet they were. I was never a Judas Priest fan, I must admit. I kinda missed it. So I wonder this is working. So I can move about. Oh yeah, cool. It's weird how that guitar has the pitch shifting as portamento. Oh, thanks, Seth. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what smoothed it out. Like, so the work guitar I'm using, I've taken the very light acoustic gauge 9s off it and I've put 10s on it, and that's really helped things, and I've forced myself to play it. I mean, I constantly have like wrist strain up here, but it's kind of helped because I've had to like then make sure, you know, if I'm doing legato and things like that, that my technique in this hand is absolutely bang on. So it's kind of helped a lot in that way. What else we got on here? Right, so that's not doing anything. Okay, let's go see Gate Labs on. It's a crazy sound, that. What else have I got? Right, that's meant to be low gain. I think there's some chords. Let's see what random drums are here. Okay. Bit of that. Hi, Scott. Let's warm my hands up. All right. All right, there we go. It's hard staying up for the lives. Oh, well, yeah, you just got to... I know it's really late or very early where you are, Enzo. But it's good to have you here. It's brilliant that you're on the channel, watching what's going on this very chaotic, unplanned live session that I'm doing, you know. The quality seems a bit rubbish today. Seems all a bit like not as clear as it normally is. But I think I know why. 2:50 a.m. Yeah. So Enzo, how's the music been going? Because I know you've been kind of doing some stuff, haven't you? So just in case, I'm sure everybody's probably seen it who's on here, but I did put another video out on YouTube, another piece of content, testing things out. So that was the second video that I shot, and then I'll be editing the stuff that I did last week with you guys, where I did some content live. 1 track a day. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's prolific. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like, I have to write something every day. It's like dead important, isn't it? Just to keep your head engaged in the process, no matter what, you know. 1 out of 5 is gold, yeah. Oh, that's good. Hello, Pine Gap. And there's Scott saying Eric Johnsony. Wow. That's giving me a nice compliment there. Smooth playing. I have to put that up there. Look at there. Smooth playing. Thank you, Des. Des is the quality guitar control officer of this channel, so that's good. That's a good thing. I'm not going to get reported. So I think what's happened, you know, is like I noticed last night, because Ecamm kindly give me a yearly subscription to use their stuff, and I think it's just ran out, and that's like forcing me to have like a lower quality stream at the minute, because it doesn't half look like when I zoom in. It's very glitchy, isn't it? Never mind. Never mind. It's fine. We can just have like lo-fi. It's got a lo-fi edge, hasn't it? That's the music. Yeah, writing's important, Enzo, expressing ourselves. Because music is a metaphor for how we're feeling. We can play what we want and say what we want through our instruments, and everybody else thinks it's absolutely amazing, even though we might be going through pain and struggle. But it's a great way to, explore your feelings and your emotions. In fact, I find in some of the situations sort of I've been in, sort of with music coaching, in extreme cases, music's been used as a way to keep people in touch with their emotions, when they're in a situation where it's like kind of difficult, that you can go and still explore those feelings and not lose them. Oh, good. Thank you, Graham. Some of the best art does come from pain. It does that. But what I would say is art doesn't have to be painful. Sorry, Lemmy, I've always got to come in with that one. Art doesn't have to be painful because we can treat it like a science. When does art become pain? It's a really interesting one. So yes, we can be in pain and we can get like comfort from that. But sometimes you'll hear artists saying, "Oh, my art comes from pain. It causes pain to do it." And I wouldn't really want to I wouldn't want to pick a guitar up and start writing music because it was painful all the time. It'd be very difficult to do that. But what it is, and you probably heard me talk about this like loads of times, is basically, art is, when we're creating, it's science, isn't it? It's like, oh, well, I've got this idea, it's in my head, and I wonder if it works. Yeah, I wonder if it works, and then I'll do something, and then it exists, It exists in the world. It comes out of our bodies through an instrument or through a pen or something like that. And at that point, whether you think it's good or bad, it's actual data that's there. And when you've got that, you've got something real. There's something that exists. What doesn't exist, right, is our thoughts and feelings about what we're doing. And that's where the confusion comes in. So when we're thinking negatively about what we've done, what we tend to do is get absorbed in that feeling when we're creating and not actually assessing what's been done. So it's this thing in your head, what could be against what is, and we need to be dealing with the what is. And that's a magical place because that takes you to all sorts of areas. Because when you're dealing with what is, right, okay, it's you tend to be, there's no past, no future. You're in the moment. You're just working on the thing that's at hand rather than thinking about. Because as creators, it's really easy to be extremely result focused, and it doesn't matter how long in your career you've been. Trust me, it's kind of always there, but you can deal with it by being aware and knowing what's there when you have those feelings, and then how you can possibly kind of deal with them. But I mean, for me, I'm going through a really interesting period in my career, and that's the whole YouTube thing, because I think I wouldn't call them defects, but all the things that I've overcome with music and myself and being, a creator, a artist, have to some extent come back, and it's really interesting. And a lot of times I'm kind of unaware of it, and this is quite evident actually in a coaching session that I had yesterday. Really interesting. It was. And talking about coaching, if there's anybody out there who does want coaching, you should send me an email. All right, what's this? Especially when Us men have a hard time expressing our feelings. Bad Omens singer Noah mentioned in an interview his best work comes from positive emotions. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, that's certainly a thing, positive emotions. I like the idea when I do my, the intro vid on the channel is I do say that, that really what wanting to be able to do is just be creative under any circumstances, really. That's all I want to do. Totally in support of coaching. There we go. So, yeah. Oh, there's my alarm, look. But the creative process and all aspects of it absolutely fascinate me. And, doing something and being creative and, just doing what we think we should be doing is like very, very important, It's all about us living our best lives, isn't it? And sometimes we just get so bogged down with life you can't actually do anything, and then other times we're like very, very judgmental of what we're doing and it becomes painful. So if you get help with sort of like those thoughts and feelings, and then you learn how to use them, you can actually use them as a lever, and they can become it becomes a strength in a lot of ways. That's what I've found over the years of doing this. So I think the next video I'm going to work on. So the next video is going to be more of a not a product video, but using a product. And you've seen it, so it's going to be the XXL bass thing, which I think is a really super handy. I mean, it's dead simple, right? And it's not the most sexiest plugin I could go, hey, look at this, but it is friggin' useful. It solves a lot of problems because I'm like so lazy. I just can't. I mean, I used to love, right, when I was producing dance music, trust me, like, I was all for layering drums and stuff like that. And then the minute I just found like one really good drum sound and stopped doing all of that nonsense, my life changed. But sometimes you can't get what you want, and what I'd rather do is try and use an EQ or other tools just to do it, because I just find it's like quicker and more fun. And I feel like I'm being more engaged in the sound as well, and making more creative decisions about it. But yeah, that plugin that I was using the other day is just brilliant, because like snares were sounding thin, and I just whack that on, and it gives me that kind of like low end that I want, slightly synthesized as well, which is great for the music that I'm making. So it's like no win there. And just zero latency sits in the project. Work smarter, not harder. You see, there's another thing. Work smarter, not harder. Unfortunately, at school we're told to work harder. Because like you'd want to be taught to work harder. Like if your education system's completely out of date and they're getting you ready for a factory, then yeah, you want to be working, then you want to condition everybody to work harder, don't you? And then think, oh, right, well, if something happens easily, oh, well, that's no good because I didn't work hard to achieve it. And that causes, I see that loads, right? People doing things, even myself, and going, oh, that was easy, and then not trusting that decision. And then unfortunately, this would manifest itself back in the day when, usually when I'd be doing a mix, I would finish a track, right, and it would actually sound, there would be a few tweaks to do actually, but I'll have mixed it on the way, I'll have done the levels, and the track will have had a certain energy and like, oh yeah, this is like really good. And then I'll go, right, well, I'll mix it now and pull all the faders down, undo everything, and then start redoing the track, because I didn't trust the fact that it was like, I didn't really have to do much mixing because that would have been easy. So what I'd do is completely undo absolutely every single thing and then start redoing a mix from scratch, because I felt like I had to work hard. And then what I would do is I like over engineer the whole thing, and then it would sound lifeless and shit. And that would happen like loads till I actually stop myself. Oh, it's not a review though, Graham. I've got to be careful with that. It's not a review. It's interesting because like obviously I'm a music coach, so I've got to watch it with the capitalism kind of thing. So what I can do is like I can say like, oh, you know, this is how I'm using a plugin, or this is how I'm using it to like save a load of time. I can say things like that because even it's not even a product review, because I'm only actually using it to do one actual thing, and that's the only thing I'm interested in it doing. So yes, it's like everything has to be like a sort of why, isn't it? And I can't really guess why other people would use it, but I can tell you why I'm using it. So yeah, that's why. It's an interesting one actually, because I've been looking at like YouTube SEOs, and I'm kind of doing it, but at the end of the day, I've got to be true to kind of what I'm doing. You can name the product, I'll be naming the product, don't worry about that. So the product will be named. But I don't expect like high numbers of views on it really, but I'm doing, and it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, all I'm bothered about, right, just like music, is I'm just churning out videos, right, because each one I'm getting better at doing. It's the idea. That's why I'm doing it. And maybe when I get to, you know, video 100, I'll feel like, oh, right, yeah, I'm getting somewhere now. But it's such a fascinating journey, and I need to do it really because, you know, I get bored quite easily, and I need new challenges. I need to throw myself off a cliff here and there. So I'm just really interested to see where it goes. What else about YouTube have I been faffing about with? Yeah, and it's just great to feel like that I'm back at the beginning. It's a weird thing to be excited about. Like I do enjoy being sort of back to the beginning of a creative journey and all that naivety and stuff. But when I first started doing the video editing, right, I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, like I can just open the program now and do something. It was great because I felt like how, you know, if you haven't really made a song or anything like that, I felt like how, you know, people who I coach or teach must feel, you know, because there's that, like with the coaching thing, there's like that ambition to do something and you want to get there as fast as possible, but you don't actually know anything, and it's like super frustrating, and your brain's racing, and there's all these barriers that you just want to smash down, and you can't because you need to get the information, and it's like, it's really good that I've experienced that. Yeah, I'm not. No. So what I'm doing is definitely not doing that. And so I'm I'm just literally creating lots of because I have a strong idea of what I want to do, and I'm not doing like YouTube as a career. It's just something that's going to support what I'm doing with the coaching, so I don't have to worry about that. But I am interested in seeing how I can get the numbers up, and then starting like a private kind of members bit. And seeing how I can monetize it that way. But in terms of like, I'm very wary about, okay, let's make YouTube a business, because like if YouTube don't like me and they want to shut me down, they can like end me like instantly. I don't like that. So I do love the idea of the fact that I'm already going into the game with like a fully functioning business, that all I'm doing is like funneling people into. Is a lot more safer. So, which is great. So I can feel that I can have fun with the channel. And like when I talk about the channel, it's like I've just got to remember, really all I've got to do is focus on the why I use something. So it's not a product review, but it's like why I use it. The other interesting thing, so economy picking. So I'm going to do, I don't know what Des thinks of this. So I'm going to do an economy picking video. The way that I'm modeling the process of learning how to economy pick is like similar to the process you go through if you're learning a language. So I got some inspiration from a lady who was saying, I think she learned Mandarin in like 6 months or however many days, 120 days she learned Mandarin. And then she just goes through the process of how she did it, because she had to do it. She wanted to do it really, really quick. And she did do 4 hours study every day, which is obviously a lot of people can't really do that. But the process she did it was very similar to the process I used to learn economy picking. So I'm going to be doing, I think I was up and running with economy picking very, very quickly, because I started in November. No, was it? and I was was it the November? I think it was the November. But I was up and running within about 3 months of doing it. Like it was embedded in my plane and I could use it, not amazingly well, but it was there. I was over the hill with it. So I'm thinking about doing a video of like how I learned to economy pick in like, I don't know, 120 days or something like, or 90 days. But actually, it's not the economy picking, the process that's going to be there. You could actually use for anything. You know, that's the idea. It's not just isolated that, but I thought that'd be an interesting one because I always go on about the whole economy picking thing, and I think, like, you know, obviously I'm not ancient, but I think like when you get older, you think like, all right, it's too late for me to learn this, you know, I'll just stick with what I know, and that's just absolute bullshit. You can do whatever you want at any time, and learn to do it. In fact, learning when you're older, like, I find it's easier, you know. You just seem to know the short way and the less complicated way and the more focused way to do things. But interesting, yeah. So I have seen people start with the multiple YouTube channels, yeah. So you could do that. I mean, I could have like a yoga channel. Not that I do yoga. I could have like Tim driving to work channel. But I'm just going to try with different videos and see which pushes the numbers up really, and then take it from there. Either way, it's good fun, you know, and I mean, you're firing off on all cylinders because, like, when you start a channel, you know, and you think about it, you got to write your music, you got to perform the thing, you know, and then you've got to like then talk articulately, which is a struggle for me, about what you're supposed to be doing, and then you've got to edit it all together. It's absolutely nuts. Who would want to do that? All right, and then got to go, but I would love to stay around. I love the topic and agree 100%, but got to get up soon. I start yoga and it's helped my music game a lot. Yeah, and of course, exercise and like meditative type stuff like that does get you absolutely focused. Especially yoga. I did it once, and I'd go back if I had the time. How are we doing for time? So, has anybody got anything they want to ask me? Or anything you want to talk about? Because I'm quite interested in knowing what people what they're thinking about these days with music and the state of the world and being a creative. I know there's not that many people, and some of you will be waking up and like, oh, too heavy this, Hutch. Don't want to talk. That's okay too. We can sit in silence. We can meditate for a minute or two. Tell you what, whilst we're having a think, I'm just going to switch over to the other template. Right, the mic will go silent. Yeah, so oh, there we go. That's better. All right. So let me. I don't work within music anymore, but I'm using this channel as a way to get creative thoughts going again. Well, that's brilliant, isn't it? So I wonder what you'll do, because I mean, obviously I suppose the core of what I talk about you can apply to and in fact I have been applying it. I've been applying it to creating content. In fact, I've been working on my content creating machine. Let's see it. Let's get it up. So I've got my automatic content creating thing. I'm not sure what I've come up with actually. Let's have a look. There you go. Content. I'll just share the screen. Yeah, this is what I've got. A nice big picture of me. And I've got, actually I decided instead of splurging, because it was idea, I thought seeds would be good. So we've got the 313 diatonic ideas, which has come up, it's over here, 3 as pentatonics. And then all I do is I just sit, right? So I've got the sketchbook, nothing's in there yet. And I just sit and I splurge like just one line ideas. So diatonic ideas, 313 phrasing, 313, lots of 313 stuff. Mode hacks, EQ and a kick drum, just because people will probably always ask for that. Why I use EXO, why I use polychrome. So I've got like lots of like little ideas just as I'm going, and I'll just splurge tons and tons of ideas, and I don't even explore whether they're going to be a good idea or not. Because I think part of the interesting thing is if I just leave it there, how I then reflect on what that seed is, it'll be different at the time that I do it. Now, if I'm really sort of like, how I learned to economy pick in 90 days. So, and then when you click on this, I've actually started, so discovery, I thought, right, well, that's a good idea. Because 90 days is like people are going, right, well, I can possibly do 90 days. 90 days to like, of pain. I could do that. So, and then I just put down like the things that I'll just talk about really. So just like, welcome, why do I want to do it? Setting up the environment, time management, practicing your mind, planting, displacement, first exercises, get a tutor to help, how I can help, catch me on a live masterclass free, and then how to test. So that was that's going to be a video that I'm going to do very soon. That'll be the next one by the looks of it. So that's in the discovery. So the discovery is I just kind of put the points down that I want to talk and just kind of explore the idea in my own head. And then we've got, these are the ones that I'm shooting. So we've done 313 pentatonics. So I can get moved now. Boom. That feels good. Dish. Into there. Into release. So these are the next two to edit. And then hopefully I'll have this one. This is getting scripted, so that's going to happen there. Which is great because I can work on multiple ideas still at once, even though I'm not doing music. I'm doing so, and I just think like Trello is a really good tool for doing this because you can move the cards, and the trick is, right, just always think of like the creative process in terms of divergent and convergent thinking. So all the divergent thinking, everything's possible. That's going to be seeds, discovery. And sort of scripted is sort of like your drafting phase, isn't it? And then the convergent phase really is when we start coming down the other side and it's very yes, no. That's to do with the shooting. Providing you've got like, I mean, the shooting could also be like super creative as well. But for me, it doesn't have to be because I'm just doing everything pretty much in here. And that's it. And then we're down the other side and it's just editing really, isn't it? So everything to a point, although you could have another machine for these things in a way, feels more convergent. In fact, editing is very convergent in its thinking. That's what I'm finding, because it is. It's just like when you're making like an A roll, you're just like cutting out ums, ahs, and daft stuff like that. So you just like whatever you make, really, fundamentally, you're just thinking about divergent and convergent thinking and like when these things happen. But more importantly, when I talk about like when they happen, you want to keep convergent thinking away from anything that's like super divergent, because you'll end up in trouble. You can't. It's very well. You can. You just end up finishing something when you haven't even started the idea properly. And then what happens is you'll have something that either looks good, sounds great if you're doing music, but it's only like, 8 bars long. And it's like so I'll see like people all the times perfecting loops. They'll do a loop, they'll create a loop of music really fast and it'll sound excellent. And then they'll start going, oh, this is a really good idea. And then rather than continuing with the idea and with that divergent thinking, they'll just start like mixing it to make it sound even better. And then that kind of sets off the convergent, the time bomb, because you've only got a certain limit of time before you get totally sick. So one thing when you're mixing is if you're not careful, you're going round and round a track and you're over listening to it, so then you get sick of it, whilst also thinking this is like really good and I don't want to mess it up, and then you just get that really tight feeling, is how I would describe it. It's just tight, awkward, slightly anxious. I need to be really careful with this because I don't want to ruin it. And then that's it. It's like game over. You're just going to... That's an exact reason, actually, why you would say when I create something, it is painful. And that is one of the pain factors, the fact that like convergent thinking clashes in with the divergent thinking. And actually producers who just go, right, I'll mix at the end instead of like faffing on at the very beginning are very wise. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's certainly, honestly, like, trust me on that one. I mean, I wouldn't. I spent years, unfortunately, banging. I don't actually. It's not yet, because that's also how we learn, isn't it? Through mistakes. Just I didn't really trust, because I wasn't coached at the time. I didn't really trust anything that I was thinking, so it was very difficult for me to stick to any plan. But I just, get like. It's that thing, you'll get stuck in this thing of like doing something, hoping that it works if you do it a million times and it doesn't. So you have to change something, and that was one of the big changes that I did. I just had to let go. Trust the creative divergent thinking. Woohoo land. Because I think that's part of the problem as well. It's like when we're creatively thinking, it's just like this dreamy, like, and like, these crazy ideas coming out, and like, and suddenly it's like, oh right, this will never work, or how am I going to get it to work? And it becomes a massive problem. But then if you're like sort of attacking each little bit with something where you're going, oh, I'm going to make it perfect, I'm going to EQ this kick drum, rather than just going bang kick drum, it just needs to go doo doo doo, snare dish dish, right, hi-hat, right, find some weird found sound, plonk that on, right, it sounds half okay, but I'm not bothered, move on. That's the best way to kind of work. And like, you should be just experiencing. You just got to allow it to be chaotic. I love and you just embrace it. Then you start, like, when you see it actually work, and you just love the chaos and the excitement, and that I wouldn't say a fight. But yeah, I love the divergent phase, and I never used to. I used to think, oh, like I used to be finishing. I used to like love mixing. Like, I mean, I still like it when I'm doing it, but that was my favorite thing. And why would I do that? And like, when you think about it, well, Hutch liked mixing simply because it was the most certain point of the creative process, because it was like a yes no. It's like video editing. Like editing an A roll, right, and cutting stuff out and finding the best bits, right? It's very yes or no. Does he sound articulate? Is that making the point? Yes, and it goes, right? All right. Has he stumbled his words there, right? Can I edit that? So it's a very, like, when you get into it, it's a very comfortable place to be, because there's a clear aim. That's what the thing is. Having said that, that doesn't mean that we can't have a clear aim when we're divergently thinking, you know? So we can sit and think of ideas, all right? And then it's like, well, I've got this story and I want to do it in music. Well, you can analytically think about it outside of the studio. What would be the starting point? And they're just possibilities. Like, you don't know anything's going to work really, but you can start with something, an idea of, like, I think it could be these 3 chords done on this instrument. And that's okay. And when you're saying that, it sounds very designy, but it's not, right? It's just basically what's happening there is you have to have an element of design within the, you know, this divergent thinking, this discovery. But like the thing is like what I'm saying to people is like just see design through the lens of discovery, through this divergent thinking, because that's the vehicle. Because there has to be a design element. If you're doing something, oh well, I'm going to do this, then there are, when you break it down, there are steps to it, and that's perfectly fine. But it's where that's coming from that's the concern. Does this actually make any sense, what I'm talking about? Or am I just doing one of my early morning blah? I feel very clear about it today, you know? But there you go. Let me see. You've triggered my creative thinking there. Yeah, cool. Well, Lemmy, I do have to sell my coaching business. But did you know, right? You can book in for one-to-one coaching sessions with me, and have this whole thing that I do. It's called the Thinking Environment. And I've had special training on this particular thing, this method of coaching. I've done hours and hours and hours of practice, and it's absolute game changer. So, if you wanted to, if you want a hour coaching session with me, I highly strongly recommend it, because what you'll walk away with is whatever you're trying to do, you're going to walk away with clarity. And that's important. and a blueprint, a roadmap of what you're going to do. But I will warn you that the method, when I do one-to-one coaching, I would say it's, well, apart from maybe at the end where I might talk about what we've been doing, you know, I might feed back some stuff, but pretty much the whole thing is, you'll only get me asking questions. I'll not say, oh, you need to do this. I'll only ask questions on information that you tell me. Yeah, it could, because like any sort of like what you're going to get is you're going to get clarity. That's what it is. So instead of just thinking and, you know, that thing of like, I love the term exploring your own DNA and, what should I do? And like, oh, could I do this? And I could do that. And then telling your friends about it and then going over here doing that and then writing some notes and then doing something on a bit of paper and then like, it's just like, this will just like bang. You'll be like, it'll be laser focused and you'll go, right, I'm doing this and this is the plan. And off you'll go. Because that's the thing, like art, the whole thing about, like, if we're designing something, like we know what the end is, so that's kind of easier to get to, isn't it? When it's art, all right, it's like, well, it's not really been done before. I haven't really done it before, and I don't know if it's going to work. And it's like, so you haven't got that, and that's why it's hard, and that's why it's painful as well, isn't it? Because we don't have anything at the end to tell us that it's certain. And then that's fear, isn't it? Another thing that I see is there's just people want that certainty. They want, like, I want to be certain because I'm going to invest time and money into doing something. In fact, forget money. Time's the worst one, because you're not, like, I don't want to sound like a cliche, because, like, the time, you know, like this time I'm sitting in front of this camera talking to you, like, I'm not getting that time back. Time, like, this is the most valuable thing like in the world that I'm doing. It's brilliant, and I give it out for free. But you got to, but because of that, people are like, oh right, I've got to, I want certainty, I want a guarantee, but you can't have your time back. And that's not what we're worrying about. What we need to do is we need to focus on the now and the process and making what we think exist some way. If we do that, then we have some data, then we have certainty. We'll have certainty in the moment, but we don't have certainty about, in the long term. Excellent. Time is waking up earlier, yeah. So, I'm probably gonna have to. So that was a good little discussion that came from very little prompting. That was great. So let me just send me an email if you want a one-to-one coaching session, and then I can tell you. I can give you the details. That's if you want to do that. But it's an hour long, and you will. And believe it or not, right, the coaching method that I use is the guy who coaches me, Mike Monday. It's what he uses on all his top A-lister, as he says, like clients, who some of them are like well fit, like really, like one of them. I can't really say who he is like one of the top 10 most played artists, or he was on Spotify just recently. Great. Excellent. All right, everybody. So what day is it today? It's Thursday today, and I'll be here tomorrow morning doing something else. So we'll have a look, and hopefully I'll have. I think I've got to sort my subscription out. I think Ecamm's going, you're having low quality video, mate. I think that's what's going on there. But then again, I like the look. I like this sort of grainy. Anyway, we'll just have to have Lego. Tomorrow it'll be full quality and all looking very nice. But all right, everybody, I better head off and do my other jobs. And see you tomorrow. Bye.